Okay. Cheers to a catalyst-filled week, retail trading team. It's Monday, best day of the week, and this is your routine briefing. So I'm going to do a sound check because I noticed I was having issues earlier. Let's make sure that went through. It did. So we're ready to go. So we're going to begin today's video by analyzing the latest warm-up. I'm going to drag it over here, and you can find this document in the description to the video, where you can also find links to strategies and other fun stuff like the newsletter, Twitch stream, and Twitter. So today is pretty straightforward, I would say. I was hoping for an open drive today. I wasn't really expecting it, yet we do have that look. So remember, multi-day trend reversals tend to last 2 sessions. That's kind of what we saw at the end of last week, Friday being the beginning, and today is hopefully going to be a continuation of that. So we do have that open drive look, which is changes if we do go back through the open. So if you want to kind of know more about the opens, by the way, you can click on the link in this warm-up document. My friend OJ has built me a nice little Excel sheet that we're going to migrate to here pretty soon. And so that's going to be another fun toy to look forward to there. So yeah, so really nice and straightforward. You have overnight inventory. We had that potential gap look, then we quickly reversed that. So we have that balanced look in the inventory that obviously skews up. You have that first 30 open drive look, which is exactly what we trend traders want to see. And finally, for the TPO, I'm saying it's about 25. Obviously, if we extend here in the next 4 minutes or so, I'll bump that up to 30. Yet again, if you look at the TPO, which we will look at that chart momentarily here, you can see that trend look. You have the one time framing up, obviously, less than 5 TPOs per line, and then you can also see that we did have that RTH VWAP move more than 5 points in that first 30 minutes. So really a clean look so far. You can see our expected move calculations. We have Oh, I didn't update those, did I? Okay, well, I'm gonna update those right now. So let's go ahead and do that. I was gonna say I don't think we're four sigma move already. So let's do that. Let's go in here. So I was talking to OJ this weekend as well about where I get the volatility calculation. That is not VIX. That is the IVX of SPX itself. So right now that's marking at 18.7. So just a clarification, that is not the VIX reading. It is the IVX of SPX. In case anybody was wondering. 205. Okay, so that's a little more accurate. Looks a lot better. And you can see we're moving up toward that expected move on SPX already. It's been a pretty significant move right out of the gate here. We're up almost 30. And like I said, it's just that expected trend continuation after Friday. You might notice I'm a little bit low energy today. So what happened on Friday to me is I was on sim most of the day. So if you look at, you can in this document as well, you go to the bar futures trade law, you can see just how well we did on Friday, and I got none of that because I was on sim mode. So I'm happy obviously today if we get that trend continuation. Yet I'm still still a little low energy recovering from that. It's one of the bigger trading errors that I've made. You can just see it's a significant amount of money. But what can you do? Moving forward, and we're looking at what else we can see today, and we're gonna go into the charts just momentarily here. If I can get my little tab, you can see our levels here and get those expected rotation as well as the add points for that I'll be using for today. And just one more time, if you go to that strategy folder, you can see the routine day trading document here, and this is the future strategy here, Barb, Brains and Robots. That's the strategy that I'm doing, and if anybody wants to follow along, that's where that is there. So moving away from our handy dandy warm document, we're going to confirm that IBR, so we're confirming everything in there as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to go ahead and give that a as of 3/6, and we're going to jump into the charts. So, like I said, nice and clean so far. Exactly what we want to see. So if we just look at the macro look here, really the main thing to note is we are above the cluster. I got rid of the lines and I just put the little data points to the side here just because it was really, at least for me, a little distracting on the chart. But you can see we're above the 50 SMA, we're above that yearly view, above the 200 SMA, 100 SMA, you name it. We're in this void, if you will, and I think that's why we're seeing the beginning of that strong breakout when we cleaned out that poor high at 40.35 on Friday. You're seeing that continuation because really, in my opinion, the first major resistance is going to be at about 40.90. 40.90 to 4100, I think, is when you might see the bears pop back in, and so that's something I'm going to be watching closely. And you can see it here. It's this outside bar candles kind of at the bottom of that, and if we pop back into that supply zone, that's when we might see some selling activity. So obviously we'll have to play it by ear. We do have that open drive look, so I'm not expecting just based on that. I think the probabilities are low that you see any significant sell-off when we get up there. Yet, I mean, if we go 4100, we pop back down to 4070. That's still 30 points, and that still is above that open. So just kind of watch what happens as we start to get to 4090. And I know a lot of other people have this 4070 area as a beginning of some resistance as well. So we'll see about that. So if we look at the TPO, which I think gives us a little cleaner, more granular view here, that 4090 is also marked by a poor high. So you can see this 4070 area, we popped to a single, we cleaned up what had been a naked POC, and I think that poor high is going to be kind of like a magnet as we get nearer to there. Like I said, perhaps watch for some sellers to come in. And above that poor high, there's not much on the TPO, obviously, so we'll have to see if just the price action, algos, and other market-moving traders keep it down from there. So the last big marker for me on that TPO to the upside is that poor high at about 40.90. And my lovely girlfriend just brought me some coffee, so thank you, Danielle. Yeah, so we'll cheers with coffee now instead of my protein bottle of water. So cheers again. You can already feel the energy surging through my veins with that first sip. So I digress. Looking to the downside, so we have our upside look. So what happens if we do turn it around? Well, I see a lot of potential support on the bottom side here. Main levels 40, 50, and then those singles every 10 from 40, 40 down to 20, I think are all decent spots for a bounce if they do try to turn it around today. Yet again, I just want to emphasize one more time, we have that open drive, that beautiful look for we trend traders where the probabilities are high that we do not go back through that opening price. So just wanted to beat that dead horse one more time. You can just see on this TPO as well. Again, no surprise, 4,000 level. There's a naked POC that's also a pretty significant support. And then finally, just those singles at 80 and 70. I don't really expect this to get cleaned up today. For those of you who haven't heard, if you've been living under a rock, we have our good friend Jerome speaking this week. That is Jerome Powell, the I'm not even going to go there. Yeah, Jerome Powell speaking this week, and that could probably shake things up. You can see the structure on this TPO is super ugly from that move Friday. So if they do have some sort of surprise, he says something that is either surprising or it's the powers that be use it as a catalyst to move the market. You might see some of this get cleaned up. So like I said, today I'm not even looking to the downside until we go back through that 40-55 area. And then if we do, I think these immediate from, I think every 10 from 50 down to 20 is kind of going to be potential demand zones there for today. So that's what I'm looking at on the TPO. Volatility, we had a big development here overnight. And I'm just going to go ahead and expand this chart real quick. We made a new low. So the low since I don't know months, several month low maybe. Let me make sure I'm not fake newsing you guys here. Yeah, so that low here on February 2nd was the lowest we have been. Goodness, I have to actually go back farther in time. The lowest we have been in the VIX since what is that? It's VIX. So let me try to find what's going on here in VX. Contract's a little different. I don't know. It's a little messed up, but the lowest that we've seen in the VIX is far back as in the VIX futures at least as far back as my chart goes, And so that's a meaningful new low that we're making here. Obviously, we might see some consolidation around here. Yeah, it's not VIX is obviously more of a sentiment instrument, I think, than a trading vehicle. I do have a trading friend who is a fan of the UVXY play, but I just kind of look at this forward slash VX future as an instrument of fear, and you can see fear is currently making a new low. So we've made a new low overnight. We're below that level. It'll be interesting to see what happens around here. Going to be tracking that. You can see I redo the trend lines. I added a supply zone here, if you will, for the VIX, but you can see very, very strong downtrend, and we have to see a pretty significant move for that to change. So what does that tell us? Just looking at the big picture, as long as we're above those major trend lines, okay, we have the low in the VIX. You can see the downtrend. I'm going to go back to our macro chart. As long as we're above, oops, did I hide the wrong thing? What happened here? As long as we are above, oops, did it again. As long as we are above these major trend lines and definitely that MGI cluster of all the various and special moving averages, we have to assume that that 2022 bear market was cyclical. The VIX is confirming it, continually making new lows, and so to me that means that the trend is up. So if we do have a sort of a sell-off this week, as long as we stay above, I think for sure that low that we made last week around that 39.20 ish area, wherever that was, as long as we're above there, trend is up, and I think big picture, dip buying, if you have a long-term investment portfolio, does seem like the correct move for now. Obviously, if we are still in a bear market, these things can be fickle. We can see a lot of weird retracements and stuff. Yet I'm just using what VIX is saying and what the price action is telling us to come up with that assumption for myself. So until that changes, I will be hopeful that we'll see some decent fake breaks to the downside. Me personally, fake breaks are my favorite strategy. Those reversal type looks, not only do they offer really good risk reward, you see that decent continuation with uh, the price action itself. So today, I've been long since I got this first signal. I think it's about 10-ish thereabouts. Yeah, we're not really seeing much, and you can't really expect much with the move like Friday. We're already in that extreme overbought territory, so it's nice to see the open drive for that trend look. Yeah, really what I think the big money is to be made in futures are those fake break looks. So hopefully later in the week, if we do get those to the downside, we'll get some nice long opportunities there. And that's all I have for you in price action. So I'm going to move to Twitch. If you see this video is longer than when the actual talking started, I'm trying to incorporate more of the live trading here, uh, starting at about 10 or whenever I start trading. That's kind of when I'm going to hop on. I'm not going to really run my mouth unless somebody's in the chat. So I will note in the newsletter when the actual commentary starts on these briefings, just to make it easier for anybody who just wants to catch the meat of it all. And if you are a vegetarian, um, insert whatever protein source you like there. So yeah, probably shouldn't start a career with stand-up comedy anytime soon. However, I will have a newsletter out for you by 11, and like I said, I'll be on Twitch with the just kind of hanging out live there for now. And if you are an electronic music fan who loves rough transitions, 12 to 2 will be today's set, and I would love to hang out with you there as well. So that's all I have for you on the routine briefing front for today. So please do feel free to tweet at Routine Trader with your thoughts. If you're an email subscriber, you can also respond to any newsletter, and the link to that email is in the description of this video. If you're not a subscriber, because as I always say, what are you doing? That's the pillar content of the Routine Trader, and that is the best way to just get a quick, easily accessible glimpse of everything that's going on throughout the trading day into your inbox at about 11 a.m. every day. So besides that, if you want to pop any questions into the comment section of this video itself, I'm happy to answer them there too. And if you did enjoy today's content, please give it a like to help with YouTube's algorithm. So besides that, it's time to trade, watch paint dry, whatever Mr. Market has for us today. We're excited. Like I said, Monday, best day of the week. It's good to be back and looking forward to an action-packed, catalyst-filled week for this lovely second week of March. And thank you for watching. So stay classy until we talk again, and have a nice day.